Welcome back to Storytime Men with Tom and Ben. We've got a huge edition coming up. We've got 3 New Zealand imports. We're absolutely on fire with New Zealand imports and absolutely loving it as a result. We've got Engine of War in the VRC Derby. We've got Willie Do It in the Golden Eagle. And finally Transcend, who's a new horse with shares remaining. She's running at Randwick with Michael Freedman. Ben, you pumped?
Very pumped. I think it's a great call. The weekends don't get much bigger than this, having the horses in the race, as you've said. Plus, we've got an opportunity that you can own Transcend, and if you're an owner in Transcend, you could go in the draw to win one of 9 Engine of War shares. So you could have a Derby runner as well this week. It's pretty massive, Clerk.
Absolutely. Now, Transcend, we'll touch on her first. She's racing at Randwick, of course. Now, she's got a race career of 3 starts, 2 wins, and a second. She looks very progressive. She's from New Zealand. She's by So You Think. Going to be trained by Michael Freedman. What are your first impressions of her?
Yeah, look, she really impressed us over in New Zealand, hence why we brought her over here. She was running similar figures to what we've seen Apocalyptic do. We see her preparation, no doubt, being the Autumn Carnival next year, but getting a run or 2 into her in the spring was also really important for Michael to get a bit of a look at her, and she's adapted well into Australia as far as we know, but that is always the query when she's having her first start straight off the flight. How well has she adapted?
Well, it's not going to be the be-all and end-all this start, of course. We've got bigger and better plans in the autumn. But anyway, she's racing tomorrow. Final 500 shares, and obviously if you buy in, you can win a share in Engine of War, who's obviously running in the VRC Derby. But let's get stuck into it. 1,300 metres, it's a BM78. We would love a little rain, given Transcend clearly want to enjoy heavy or soft tracks, and it looks like it's coming. So talk to us about this race. How do you see it unfolding?
Yeah, she's raced 3 at Randwick, as you've called out, 1,300 metre benchmark 78. She's jumped from barrier 6. Tim Clark gets the ride, who's been riding her at track work and has a good opinion of her. She's really well weighted in this race. She's carrying 54 kilos and has a rating of 72. Just for some context on that, this is fillies and mares only. The two sort of favourites that I've identified, I reckon, are both rated 75, so only 3 points higher and carrying 58.5, so 4.5 kilos more than her. Onto the dangers. I think Delicious is the rightful favourite. She's 3 from 3 this preparation. By Snitzel, J-Mac takes the ride for Chris Waller's yard. She was running through Group 3 last spring, actually, only finished 1.3 lengths behind Aliana, who's gone on to bigger and better things. The tricky part for Delicious is barrier 10 of 10. Not seeing a lot of speed in the race, but maybe there will be. Potentially gets caught quite wide if he tries to go forward, which he has done in her last few races this preparation. Editing is another one from barrier 1 for Kieran Maher with Ethan Brown on board. Was running through Group 3s, a couple of them through the Winter Carnival up in Queensland, and performed quite well running a 4th and 5th. She's second up today, carts 58.5, also one to watch. And then you can talk about Husk, the top rater, who I know you're a bit of a fan of, but I think she's also a danger.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a fan of Husk and obviously Delicious as well. But with Husk, he's carrying 61 kilos. He's obviously the top rater and he's probably the class horse of the field. But I think when you look at Transcend and Delicious, they're both 2 quite progressive types. In my view, I've got Transcend coming on top. How do you see it unfolding?
Yeah, I think Transcend's going to be really hard to beat. I think she's probably the best placed horse in this race. She came out in her first run this preparation, and the horse she beat has since ran 3rd in a Group 3 or 4th in a Group 3, and the horse she beat last up by 4 lengths has won since. So it's really good and strong form behind her. She's a top pick, and I think if you want to own a race winner this Saturday, then you could get a cheeky share in Transcend today.
Tick. Now let's move on to the VRC Derby, a Group 1, of course. One of the biggest races in the world, in my view. Now, Engine of War lines up. Complete forget last start. Take us through it.
It is a complete forget, and we've spoken about why that is the case. But 2,500 metres, Group 1, probably will see a good 4-track. I don't think the rain's coming in Melbourne until earlier next week. There's about 100, 150 metres to the first turn, so finding your position early will be really important, and there's a little bit that have drawn out wide that might find it a bit more difficult. Engine of War is in barrier 9. Tommy Berry takes the ride. He gets the blinkers first time. He's been working in them over the last couple of weeks since his last run in the Caulfield Classic, because the feedback was he was a bit green and looking everywhere. He's a lot sharper, which is really good and what we like to see. But for me, I think the key to Engine of War is going to be a couple of things. Getting back to a big track. We've seen him run 3 times this preparation. He was awesome at Sandown on debut. He was then very good in the Derby trial where he finished second by a nose, but he was carrying a kilo more than the rest of the field. But more importantly, he's a horse that needs to build through his revs. He's like a big semi-trailer diesel engine on the freeway. Like you can't just turn him from gear 1 right up to gear 4 straight away. He's got an 8-metre stride length. I think he wants time to go through his gears, and that's how we'll be riding him on Saturday, which is obviously going to be exciting.
Absolutely. And then obviously, so main dangers, we've got Observer.
Yeah.
He was an absolute freak last start. Went to the front, got eased down with about 150 metres to go. Mark Zara cops a fine there, cop that. And then also the other one that I've got is Autumn Mystery, who beat Engine of War, obviously at Caulfield on the same day as Apocalyptic was running there. Now, how do you see it unfolding? You've obviously got Engine of War, maybe top 3, top 4. Can he win?
Yeah, he can definitely win because it's 2,500 metres the first time. He is bred to stay, as a few of these horses are. And a few of them aren't. So we just don't know how it's going to completely pan out when you haven't seen them exposed at this distance. And Observer is the deserving favourite by Gayath, who's already proving to be a super stallion. I'm glad we've got one in our stables, ready to get to the track soon. Absolutely is. But he was so impressive in that Vase.
Hard not to back.
He is. And I think the horse behind him, Providence, was also impressive. But what I worry about with this Derby is there doesn't look like it's going to be a hot tempo. And why would it be when all these horses are trying to get to 2,500 for the first time? But Observer's drawn 4. He'll get the gun run. He'll be able to sit up in front. So while we want to have a patient ride, you don't want Observer too far out of your sights. You just want to make sure that we can be within striking distance on the turn. I don't see many other dangers outside of that. Arabian Prince, I think, is a very good horse to watch out for, but is currently the first emergency, might not get a run. And I think Deal Done Fast will run really well, but Barrier 1 might be a sticky draw. Autumn Mystery, Barrier 17 is going to be the question mark for me. Where he gets to from the draw and whether he can sustain a strong 2,500 metres, I'm going to be interested to see.
Beautiful. It's going to be a huge race. Now, finally, going over to Sydney, the Golden Eagle, 4-year-old run race, 1,500 metres. Will he do it lined up? It's his grand final. We're very excited. How's it going to play out?
$10 million. It's fascinating, isn't it? It's great. Look, incredible speed map when you're looking at it. There's a few horses that have drawn on the outside gates that are going to absolutely bolt to get to the lead, and a couple that have drawn inside that aren't going to want to lose their position either. So they'll be going helter-skelter over the 1,500 metres at Randwick. I see Fully Lit from 14, Mayfair from Barrier 15, Shangri-La Spring from 17, and Crystal Clear from 13. So 4 really wide barriers, all going forward. Seagulls 11 from Barrier 3 and Perfumers from Barrier 1 are also going to go forward, I would think, as well. So that speed and that tempo will stretch this field out. I think, therefore, we can chance our luck from Barrier 11, be positive from the gates, and we should be able to get across midfield, forward of midfield, with cover in a 2 or 3 wide line, I would think. And he gets the blinkers on for the first time, which is a huge tick. He's gone 14, unfortunately didn't get to the Epsom, but 14 again. And then he's now third up over 1,500 metres, back to the big track like Randwick, which he absolutely loved from the tramway.
A lot of ticks.
Heaps of ticks. I think he's way over the odds. Whether he's going to be as good as some of these horses in this event, I'm not sure, but he hasn't been tested against them yet. I'm not ruling it out. Remember his tramway splits, he ran the 5th fastest final 4 and 200 of the meeting. So he's got the ability, and I think he can sustain high pressure races over 1,600 metres. Tim Clark booking is very good. He'll be positive on him.
Bring him up a bit forward.
Yeah, exactly. And you get about 350 metres before that first turn. Autumn Glow is the obvious favourite, obvious danger. Barrier 9, I would love to get on her back.
Yeah.
If we're good enough, she'll bring us into the race.
Definitely. The other one that I see as a danger as well is probably Panda Tower, the Japanese horse. He's in Barrier 4, which might not work with all this speed that's coming through, but he is as progressive as they come. 6 starts, 4 wins, and the distance looks to be his jam. But there is a bit of rain coming towards Sydney. How's that going to go with the good 4 track that it is currently, I believe? So if it goes to a soft track, not only is it not going to suit Panda Tower, but it will really do it.
Yeah, definitely. I think for both of our runners in Sydney, we want a little bit of cut out of the ground. Panda Tower, as you've called out, great horse from Japan. The Japanese raiders always come out here and stack right up. It's the top of the top when it comes to the racing jurisdictions around the world. And I think from barrier 4 is my only concern with him, as well as if it gets to a soft track, where he gets back to. In his mile win, in a Group 1 win over a mile in Japan, he was about third last in running. So I don't know if they'll want to give up their spot. It'll just be fascinating to see how it goes. Agree, he's an absolute danger. And I think linebacker is the other obvious danger. Personally, I have Willie Do It to run top 4. I think he's a very good top 4 chance, and they pay 500 grand for 4th in the Golden Eagle.
Be huge. Owners, cha-ching.
Good prize money if he gets there. But I think what we'll see is a much more improved version of him than what we saw last start.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be an absolutely huge day. Willie Do It in the Golden Eagle, Engine of War in the VRC Derby, and a horse that you can buy today and race tomorrow in Transcend. Good luck.